What's going on, everybody? This is Sean of Raw Select Music. Today I want to talk about this record right here. This is Taku's 25 Nights For Nujabes, released on Jakarta Records in 2019. Although I think this album originally came out back in 2013 and was only recently issued on vinyl. Don't quote me on that, though. Anyways, I saw this record in a recent dig down in Tokyo, and I knew I needed to pick it up because Taku's records have a tendency to sell out pretty quickly in Japan. And as well, I figured that the marriage of Taku's taste for beats, as well as using Nujabes' very cinematic, very mellow, and very emotional style of production, it would be a great mixture. And I thought these two sounds would work really, really well together. And now that I've given it quite a few listens, I wanted to share my thoughts and opinions of this record with you guys and let you know whether or not I think it's worth checking out. So with that little introduction out of the way, let's talk about this guy. So for those of you who are unfamiliar with who Taku is, he is an Australian-based producer, DJ, and photographer, and an excellent photographer as well. Definitely check him out on Instagram. Who started gaining notoriety in the beginning of the 2010s and really started becoming famous with some of his releases in 2015, like Songs to Make Up To and Songs to Break Up To. And before those two records, which I think are the ones that he's most famous for, he was doing some more sort of J Dilla style productions with albums like Do What You Love and his split EP that he did with Suff Daddy, Brick and Mortar. Both of those are worth checking out. Definitely grab those if you can. And going from my knowledge of Taku's music, I figured that this would be an excellent project, and I was not disappointed in the slightest. Taku doesn't so much recreate or resample as so much as he sort of reimagines it. If you're familiar with Nujabes' music, this record will be instantly familiar because Taku has perfectly captured Nujabes' emotional, cinematic style, but added Taku's sort of sensibilities for J Dilla-esque, swing-heavy, loose drums, as well as Taku's sort of really slap-heavy. Some of the drums on here are way harder than Nujabes' productions, which tended to be a lot more ethereal and a lot more cinematic, and didn't really have quite the same punch as Taku's tracks. And I think Taku does a really great job of getting that sort of string piano-laden sound that Nujabes was famous for, and marrying it with a sort of sound that he was working with back when Do What You Love came out. Actually, I think these albums came out pretty close together, as well as it came out pretty close to an album that I haven't listened to yet, which was his tribute to J Dilla. And it really feels like all of these elements are really coming together. You have these very melancholy sounds, a lot of very melodic sounds. Melody is one of the strongest points on here, and it is definitely the most evocative of Nujabes' sound. Lots of strings, lots of piano, lots of melody, lots of catchy hooks on here, and Taku does an absolutely fantastic job of getting the essence of Nujabes' productions and mixing it in with his own style, so it doesn't negate Nujabes' productions in the slightest, and definitely makes this project worth listening to on its own merits. Quite honestly, there is really not a weak track on here. Even some of the shorter tracks, albeit I wish that maybe they were a little bit longer, still have a pretty emotional and melodic punch to them, and do a really good job of setting up some of the longer tracks on here. And the longer tracks on here have enough variety that they never feel stale, and they never feel like they're just a loop done over and over again. And while I already commented that there's a lot of sort of J Dilla-esque slaps on here with a lot of really hard-hitting snares mixed in with hard-hitting claps. There's also a couple of rolling drum numbers that are very much in line with a Nujabes production as well. So I really feel like Taku did a great job of covering all of his bases and really putting together a truly one-of-a-kind tribute to one of Japan's most famed producers. Honestly, I don't know what else to say about this project. It pretty much has everything. It's got emotional punch, it's got catchy hooks and catchy melodies, it's got hard-hitting drums, memorable moments, it's a great listen front to back, and all in all, this is one of the best instrumental hip-hop projects that I've heard in a long time. And I know I say that about a lot of the records that I talk about on this channel, but honest to God, I've been listening to this record almost non-stop since I've picked it up, and I've had to pull myself away from it to listen to other records. But inevitably, I always find myself going back to this record, and every time that I listen to it, a new track stands out. I hear a new element. There's so much detail in all the production. Apparently, I had a lot more to say about this record than I thought. And honestly, I feel like this is yet another amazing quality production from Taku. So if you ever run across this record, Taku, 25 Nights for Nujabes, definitely pick this up and definitely comes highly recommended from me. So that's gonna be it for me today, guys. Thanks as always for watching. If you've listened to this record, let me know what you thought about it down in the comments. If you want to check out this record for yourself and hear some higher quality audio, please head over to my WordPress or Steemit blog, because that's where I post music links for any of the records that I talk about on this channel. And definitely check out my Mixcloud. That's where you can hear the audio component of this Raw Select Music brand. You can hear records such as this, as well as a whole slew of other records in my collection. Links for everything, as always, down in the description. But that's gonna be it for me today, guys. Thanks as always for watching, and I will catch you in the next video. So until then, peace out!